Well, hello, friends. You know, I get tired of some of these ego trolls that are out there. You know, I hadn't even started the live stream, and 15 minutes ago, there was already an ego troll here on my page. You know, keep messing with your boo. You know, you Eagle fans, it's kind of amazing to me because you guys keep talking so much shit. When we bring up the fact that you don't have a Super Bowl ring, you guys, you got an answer for us, don't you? Yeah. What? You never seen a rum martini before? Usually, it's shaken, not stirred. But hey, it's live. But for you Eagle trolls out there who talk about those 3 world championships that you're so proud about, you do know that the Cleveland Browns have 8, right? 8. Yeah. So think about that next time you start bragging. Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report, because without you guys, this just wouldn't work. And I got to tell you, I like to have fun here. I like to think that this channel is different from every other channel out there because it's not just about football. It's about all of us together. And I'm going to throw you guys some curveballs. You're going to see some things on here that you probably won't see anyplace else. And, you know, I'm okay with that because I have no problem with acting silly, acting retarded, because I don't care if you laugh with me or laugh at me. As long as you guys laugh, then that's all that matters, because the world is a crazy place and we all need to have a good laugh. And of course, we all need to have football. And guys, it's sad because we are literally down to the last 3 weeks of the regular season. We spent all off season talking about the Cowboys, building up, getting ready for the season. And here it is. We got 3 weeks left. Then we got 4 weeks of playoffs. And then it's the off season again. And it's kind of sad because this is not the season that we wanted, but it's still better to have a football season than none at all. We still have a good chance, and it's actually a little warm down here. Shout out to Wade for the poncho here. Wade, another one of you great fans that are out there. And then Joseph. Hey, I see Joseph is back. And I don't know if you saw the Wild West little spot there, Joseph. But for those of you who don't know, Joseph is a great fan and a great supporter here of the channel. He actually works in Tombstone as Wyatt Earp. That's right, as Wyatt Earp. So he's actually going to be sending me some legit stuff. So, you know, as opposed to just having a shot, maybe we have some real shooting going on. But here we are. 3 weeks left to go. And here's an interesting thing for you. I know a lot of people have written off the Cowboys. They've said the season is over with. We suck. But here's the thing. We don't have great odds, but we still have a chance. Because if we win the last 3 games, believe it or not, we have a 44% chance of making the playoffs. Doesn't sound quite as bad, does it? And here's the thing. I call it a circular firing squad with the other teams. Because everybody is basically playing everybody. To make a long story short, we need a couple things to happen for us. We have to win out. First and foremost, we can't even think about anything else except winning ourselves. If the Panthers or the Falcons lose 2 games, and the Lions and the Packers lose at least 1 game, we're in the playoffs. Flat out. And I know that sounds daunting with 3 games left, but the Panthers and the Falcons play each other. Automatically, one of those 2 are going to lose a game. The Lions and the Packers play each other. Automatically, one of those 2 teams are going to lose and be out of our way. So then what we have to hope for, if it's the Panthers have to play Tampa, the Falcons, and the Packers. The Falcons have to play the Bucks, the Saints, and the Panthers. And they're playing in New Orleans. There's a chance. I think there's a better chance for the Falcons to lose than the Panthers. But it's football. You never know. The Falcons will definitely be playing for something against the Panthers the last game of the season. So who knows where that goes. As far as Seahawks go, the only thing that matters is we win all 3. It doesn't matter what else Seattle does. The Lions have probably the easiest route. They play the Bears, the Bengals, and the Packers. And the Packers have the Panthers, of course, Vikings, and the Lions. And I believe the Packers will, even with Aaron Rodgers, will lose at least one of those games. So that's where we stand as far as playoffs go. Unfortunately, we wasted games. I'm happy that our coaching staff finally shaked up things on defense. Deion Sanders, I don't know about being a legend, man. I'm just a guy here having fun. We wasted games that we could have won. If you think about the Rams game or the Falcons games where we were up and ended up not making adjustments at halftime, had we won one of those games, things would have been a lot different than where they are right now. But unfortunately, we can't cry about that. And as much as I would love to see Jason Garrett replaced, it's not going to happen now. Winning those last 2 games pretty much has made it so Jason Garrett will be considered, he righted the ship without Zeke Elliott. And no, he's not going to be suspended for a friendly bet. I put that video out there just to kind of tease. The NFL, they're pretty bad, but they won't be quite that bad. The Lions will blow up a game. Well, let's sure hope they do. Shout out to American Muscle, Paul, Byron, Michael, J-Wad. How are you doing? J-Wad, why were you on here 15 minutes before the live stream even started, dude? Brandon Martin, okay. Kathy Else, welcome. Okay, and Joseph's here. D'Angelo, how are you doing tonight? Where is Jackie? I don't see Jackie here. Virginia's Finest, how are you doing tonight? Terry Owens. Very okay. And I do not see my girl, Jackie. Jackie, where are you? Jackie and Sarah, come on now. You guys have to be here. Roy, how are you doing tonight? Michael, Joseph Vasquez, Clifton, Paul, Boomer. We got a lot of you guys in here tonight. So the good news is Collins practiced today, first time in 2 weeks. Tyron Smith is there. The bad news is David Irving is still in the concussion protocol. Durant is out and Skandrick is out. So we've got those losses. Of course, Sean Lee is in good shape. We've got him in bubble wrap all week. So he's here. So thank God we need that guy coming off of an interception and 18 tackles. What a difference one player makes. Clean FPS, how you doing? Gabrielle, Say Prime Time, Garland. How's everybody hanging? Arian, JT, Jackie, you better be on here tonight. Brian Waller, Matthew, Daniel. So, back to Collins. I put up a video earlier. Somehow the sound was messed up, but I figured out what my problem is. Because you guys know I am technology challenged. And what I realized is there's actually power over here. This is like a whole power strip that's underneath of here. And when I end up putting the inverter in for the microphone, it's getting feedback. So hopefully the sound is okay tonight. And we just relocated to the other side. Again, I need some. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing? Where's your partner in crime, Jackie? Because she better be here tonight or I'm going to be upset. Man Productions, I look like I'm 18. Yeah, 18 times 3. Matt, I started to go there, but then we had the snow and stuff on Saturday. The weather was going to be cold, and it just wasn't going to work out too well. I apologize, Matt. We're going to be doing a whole lot more things in the future, starting with the draft this year, training camp and games. Yeah, Virginia, I figured it out. Finally figured it out because it's crazy. You could actually have it within an inch or two, and all of a sudden it would be. So, hats off. I finally learned something. Joseph, how are you doing? I hope Maya's doing better tonight. Stick with the Young Bucks and draft a linebacker, wide receiver, safety, and O-line. Hey, Terry Owens, you hit my draft dream list on the head. We definitely need a swing tackle to fill in. We got great starters, but when they're not hurt, we've got problems. Linebackers, we drop off. Jalen Smith has played better lately, but he still has a ways to go in my mind. Bet the House Philly. Mark and Joe Boo. Live hard and die young. Amen to that one, Michael. Sexy Sea Turtle 17. Rodgers has got everybody run. You know what? As far as Aaron Rodgers goes, I'm not sure that's the right move for the Packers. Now, again, I'm just a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll, but risking him, because they said that collarbone is not completely healed. And I'm thinking about Tony Romo rushing back 2 years ago, and ended up breaking that thing again. You'll remember they were talking about having to shave some of the muscle off and possibly put like a metal plate in to help him to be able to, make it. And when you start talking about breaking that thing over and over again, you're talking about long term. And do you really believe that the Packers are ready to go ahead and make a run for a Super Bowl? But, what do I know? But to come back as your first game against the Panthers defense, I'm not sure that that's the thing to do. Mark, you do shit. Okay. Jalen Smith definitely has a ways to go. Yeah, I watched him in a couple plays last week. Some plays, what he can do well is go straight ahead. The problem is side to side and cutting and having to change direction because he can't push off that foot. And is he a lot better than what you would have thought when we drafted him at the moment? Oh, hell yeah. But being better than what you thought and being a premier linebacker is two different things. He makes a lot of tackles, but you'll notice that when he makes tackles that a lot of times he's getting drug up the field. He's not stopping guys at the line of scrimmage. He's letting guys carry him 3 or 4 yards. Well, John Wick, with Aaron Rodgers, yeah, that's been one of the problems is not having a pass rush, not putting enough blitzing on there, and not having guys to cover. Aaron Rodgers does that not only to us, but to everybody. No, Dallas talk. Atlanta has to lose 2 because they hold a tiebreaker against us. If we end up with the same record, they beat us, so we have to get 2 games on them. Well, here's the thing. Beginning of the season, I said I think the Cowboys would go 10-6. And I thought 10-6 would be more than enough to win the division and to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, the NFC has just been better this year than what was thought. 10-6 in the AFC, shit, that'll get you way up there. Not in the NFC this year. If the Cowboys end up winning the next 3, go on a 5-game winning streak to go 10-6, get back a Zeke Elliott who's been resting for 6 weeks, keep everybody like Sean Lee, Tyron Smith, and La'el Collins healthy, all of a sudden, you're talking about playoffs and being able to run the ball. That's what you want to do in the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that wouldn't want to face them because they would be one of the healthier teams definitely coming in on a roll. The question is, can they make it? Do 3 straight wins seems hard to me? Well, the Raiders, let's look at the Raiders right now. The Raiders definitely are not the Raiders that we thought they were going to be.
The Raiders are beat up. You look at their injury list, it's literally double the size of ours. You think that we've got problems. Amari Cooper's not playing. Now, granted, we are playing in Oakland on the road, but at least it's warm there. But I think we got a damn good chance to win in that game. We can pass against the Raiders. I think Dak Prescott's going to have a good game there. Our running game is coming around really well. Rod Smith is a hell of a change-up back. Alfred Morris has become a really good hammerhead for our team. I think you got a good chance there. Now, then you've got my man coming back, Zeke Elliott. And if you don't think after 6 weeks of feeling like he's been wronged and having to accept this shit that Zeke Elliott isn't going to come back and want to play balls to the wall, if you don't think it's going to be an emotional lift for this team, having Zeke Elliott come back and say, we've got a chance to make the playoffs, to play the Seahawks at home, not in Seattle, I think we got a good chance there. And the Eagles are already talking about not playing Nick Foles in that last game of the season because they ain't got nothing behind Nick Foles. So the Eagles probably won't have anything to play for. So you're looking at those guys resting. So it's not easy, but it's possible. Sexy Sea Turtle, there's always a lot of trolls in here. I mean, the trolls, oh my God. The trolls are on every single video, but that's okay. Let them talk. With losing Carson Wentz, that changed the whole dynamics of the team. I know Nick Foles has played some good football. He played well in relief in that game. But Nick Foles isn't Carson Wentz. They've got a good running game. They've got a good defense. So they'll should do okay. But we'll see what they have without Carson Wentz. That's definitely a step back. It's definitely a chink in that armor. Nick Foles is going to light up the Cowboys. You guys are talking about not even playing Nick Foles against us. Jay Slaw, yes, either one, Bill Cowher or John Gruden. But there's no point in talking about that right now because, one, Jason Garrett's not going to go anywhere. Two, we still have the season left to play. Yeah, everybody is sexually harassing now. Well, I got to tell you, I had NFL Network on while I was setting up for the show. And it was kind of nice not seeing Heath Evans and his smug look. You know, Heath Evans is one of those guys that always got, Marshall Faulk, I like Marshall Faulk. Okay, Marshall Faulk's okay. He's a Cowboy hater, but he's okay. But Heath Evans is kind of like, yeah, I'm glad they got rid of that guy. Because he was really, everything was about Heath Evans. You know, when I played for the New Orleans Saints and, you know, behind Tom Brady and it's like, shut the hell up, dude. So it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And somebody was saying that, okay, you know, you're innocent until proven guilty. I agree, because Zeke Elliott was considered guilty before anything. But when Warren Sapp basically admitted that, yeah, I sent her sex toys every year, you know, it was just, a gag gift, so nothing big about it. So it's like, okay, all right, so you're not denying any of it. And Heath Evans, I can see him. He's a bit of a creeper. And knowing the attitude, and I'll be honest with you, we all have skeletons in our closet. We all have skeletons in our closet. So before we start casting stones at people, take a good look at things that you have done. And I got to be honest with you. When we were in college, we played football. Yeah, you make some remarks. You whistle at women. I can remember some things that kind of went on. And it's kind of that thing, that whole macho thing. I'm a stud, I'm a football player, I'm a jock and everything else. So I'm not going to go ahead and condemn them for talking. But if it gets beyond the point of talking, and if some of the allegations are true and things that it's kind of creepy and kind of sad. And it's a shame that everybody went for this one woman. Lally Mack, yeah, you can tell he's a creep. Spray hunters, just tell it like it is. Fly, Eagles fly. How about die, Eagles die? I'm an Eagles fan, just chilling out, talking shit in here. and still heard about Wentz. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't look for any player to get hurt intentionally. Um, Knowing what an ACL is like, I mean, I deal with that every day. Um, the question you have to ask though is, what's the recovery going to be like? And is he going to be ready to start the season? Because really, that's like an 8 month to a year type of an injury. And a lot of players are trying to come back sooner than that thing is ready. You know, you looked at RG3 trying to come back with that knee, and that knee wasn't anywhere near ready. I remember being at training camp when they were saying all in. I knew that knee wasn't ready. I could look at him and say he can't plant. When you look at Derek Carr coming back from, I'm next. 93, no. Maybe 84, but not 93. Um, when you look at Derek Carr, who's playing more like David Carr, as I said, some people didn't get my joke because they said, oh, yeah, he said David Carr. Yeah, it was intentional. But David Carr coming back from his injury, that he doesn't look like the same guy from last year. So the question will be is, what will that knee be in when he comes back? He'll probably be wearing a knee brace. To start out with, because mobility is a lot of his game. And will he be ready to start at the beginning of next season? That's kind of in doubt. So you guys may be looking at not just this off season, you may be looking at going into the beginning of the season where he's still recovering from this. And it does take time. And the question will be is what will the recovery be? One of the most famous knee recoveries has to be Adrian Peterson. For him to come back as quick as he did, like nothing ever happened, is few and far between. That is more the exception than the rule. So, we'll see. We're going to blitz the hell out of Foles and break his knee. Okay. If he can't recuperate real quick, then his knee will go to garbage. And knees are funny things. And it's hard because I remember back in college, we had knee braces that we had to wear as linemen. But the problem with it is that they're bulky. Like this is actually my knee brace that I have now for when my knee is acting up. And when you see something like this, it's metal, it's got the Velcro, it's got all these straps and stuff. It actually, believe it or not, what it does for me, because I don't have the ACL, I have no cartilage, and my knees literally grind. It sounds like a bowl of Rice Krispies. What it does is it actually relieves the pressure on the knee and actually makes it move a little bit easier. But the problem is when you're using this for running, this is great for going front and back. The problem is your knee actually flexes side to side as well. And if you don't have that side to side flexion, then that becomes a problem when you're trying to cut. It slows you down. And more times than not, for me, wearing the knee braces or having my ankles tied slowed me down, where I got into more trouble than not having the braces and having my ankles taped, because you want to be able to move around. Big K, okay. Well, chlorine bleach, you've been right all season, so we'll believe you that the Cowboys aren't going to make the playoffs. I believe you said that the Giants were going to make the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying. Chlorine bleach, stop drinking the bleach, man. Brandon Martin, believe me, I know the technology is a lot better than it used to be, but it's still, every case is different. And I'm going to tell you, once you hurt a knee, it's still never the same. Oh, Daniel, I don't think that's going to happen with Derek Carr this week. Not without Amari Cooper. He's not throwing for 400 yards. Yeah, King of Clam, staying in there and playing wasn't probably the best thing. You could see his leg was going side to side. There was no stability in there whatsoever. Chlorix bleach. Giants will make the Super Bowl in 10 years. Okay. All right. Well, I'll check with you in 10 years to see if you get there. Look, even one of your brethren is saying you're making us look like fools. Way to go, Daniel. I appreciate that. Foles doesn't need to be Wentz. We're a complete team. It's the best team. Okay. All right, J-Wad. We'll wait and see what happens. Football is a crazy sport, okay? the fact that you can't predict a team from week to week, okay? At first I said, well, the Lions have to play the Bears. Well, before last week, you thought, oh, shit, that's an easy win for the Lions. But the Bears scored 33 on the Bengals last week. So all of a sudden, maybe it's like, you know what, maybe the Bears are coming on. That won't be a cakewalk for the Lions. You look at New England getting their lunch handed to them by Miami. So anything is possible. It's possible that the Eagles could go on a run and make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I tried to keep a straight face with that one. But in all factuality, it is possible. It's all possible that everything could fall in place for the Dallas Cowboys, that they somehow sneak into the playoffs and, like the New York Giants did, go on a run and beat a 17-0 New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. It's football. It's the reason why we love football so much. It's unpredictable. You're literally on the edge of your seat week to week because you don't know what the F is going to happen. Last year, they said, circle the calendar for this Sunday night game. The Raiders and the Cowboys. We're talking about two MVP candidates, probably a preview of the Super Bowl. Yeah, they got that one right, didn't they? David Irving is not, he's still in concussion protocol. He is out, as well as Justin Durant and Alanda Skandrick are all out. So no David Irving. Concussions, they're no joke. Yeah, Foles can extend plays the way Wentz did. And the fact that teams gave up on him, the Eagles kind of picked him back up. He looked great in relief last week and all that, but, we'll have to wait and see how he does this week. Although the Eagles don't exactly have a tough game. They got the Giants. Sorry, these things are flying by too quick. It's hard to read. Cowboys Nation. Okay. Do I think Zeke will run crazy against the Seahawks? Well, since most of the Legion of Boom is out, the Seahawks defense isn't anything near what it used to be. Yeah, I think that in our offensive line, if Collins and Tyron Smith are playing, yeah, I think we could be running all over the place. In fact, I believe that if we stay healthy, we will be just running the damn ball a lot to finish out the season and going into playoffs. That's where you really want to be as the weather starts getting cold, as people are getting, broke down on their teams and stuff. If we can get those big guys up there leaning on teams, eating up the clock, pounding the ball, making teams one-dimensional to try and catch up with us, that's the winning formula for our Cowboys. And that's what people don't seem to understand, that, they keep saying, well, Dak Prescott's not throwing for 400 yards a game. Well, this offense wasn't designed to be a passing offense. It was designed to be a running ball control offense, partially because you don't have the horses on defense. You want your defense to be out there as limited as possible, having, offenses trying to catch up. You got a great pass rush. You want to be able to rush the passer. You want to know that you can pin your ears back and turn loose the dogs. And in the same sense, you don't want them out there for long periods of time getting worn out, okay? So when you have the offense that goes through and grinds out 7, 8, 9, 10-yard drives, the other team looks at it and says, oh, shit, we don't have much time. We need to score. So they start passing more and more. You're giving them limited opportunities to go at you. That's the winning formula, especially in the playoffs. It's great to see the deep pass all the time. But how many times have we seen the deep pass where Tony Romo will throw a touchdown or throw an interception? And interceptions and turnovers are game changers. Every time you turn over the ball, you turn, possibly a 14-point swing. That is, you could have been scoring 7. Instead, the other team could be scoring 7. That's what killed us against the Rams. That's what killed us against the Falcons. And once that onslaught starts going, it's like a snowball rolling downhill. It just gets bigger, faster, and keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling. So that's why this offense is predicated on the run. You get the run and stuff going. You get them to start putting 8 men in the box. Your receivers aren't exactly the top flight receivers, but if you've got Dez Bryant one-on-one, you can throw a jump ball to him and have a good chance of it. So that's what you got to understand about this offense, and that is the way this offense will win. Mark Sanchez for MVP. Okay. Who has the game Overwatch? Okay. King of Kim. Well, you know what? We're trying things a little differently. You've got to throw a curveball every now and then. If you stick to the exact same, playbook, you get predictable. So you throw a few curveballs, and I'm hoping that maybe Jason Garrett or somebody who knows Jason Garrett says, you know what? Maybe we should try and change some things up. Throw other teams a curveball. You know, change up the play calling. Keep people guessing. Jay Cutler for Pro Bowl. Yeah. Um, Corey, Corey. You got it exactly right, but you also need Green Bay and the Lions to lose one each. Wentz has chicken ankles. Well, see, that's the thing with Dak Prescott that now all of a sudden everybody's saying, "Oh, well, Carson Wentz tore his knee up. Maybe Dak Prescott needs to change what he's doing." Well, when I look at Carson Wentz build versus Dak Prescott, and you've seen some of the hits that Dak has actually taken, where he's literally had defensive linemen on his back and he's kind of thrown them off. Dak is built more like a linebacker. Dak is a stud. He is strong. He has got a nice thick build on him. He can take hits. Don't get it twisted. Don't look at me and say that we need to do a chuck and duck offense where we're not going to worry about him, because you don't want to happen to him what happened against Atlanta. You don't want any quarterback hit like that. But he can take a hit if he has to. Carson Wentz, that hit didn't look that bad for his knee to go. No, thank you, Virginia Finest. I have no desire to be president, okay? Because, there's just too much shit that goes on with that one. People like me right now. I don't want people hating me. Dak is a beast. Yeah, well, I'm glad that some of the Dak haters have quieted down. Have you noticed that it's been a little bit quieter in here this week? Because last week, oh my God, boy, everybody was coming after me, telling me I'm an idiot. You need to accept the fact that Dak is a bust and he needs to go. And yeah, I'm just like, dudes, what the hell's wrong with you? Well, Joseph, I can always hope that Garrett can change. I can always hope. Um, Witten should retire. Okay. Well, the problem for us is at the moment, we really don't have a tight end behind him that's reliable. Matt, lucky you that you got that close to Dak. Oh, injury prone RG3 2.0. Man, that's cold, Lolly. Um, I like Dak video you can do. Okay. All right, Cowboys X Factor. Um, we have three really good running backs. And the thing that I like about that is one, if somebody gets hurt, you've got somebody to fill in. But two, having Rod Smith, and Rod Smith is still young and still has not had that much playing time, but Rod Smith is a great change of pace back. When we get Zeke back and you go ahead and start pounding Zeke in there, and teams are saying, shit, we got to stop this guy, and they're putting 8 men in the box, and they've been chasing Zeke. They've been getting hit by those offensive linemen. All of a sudden, you put a Rod Smith out there, and you get him out in space and have them start chasing that. They're going to wear teams and players the F out. They're going to be literally just dropping like flies. Jay Watt, you actually have a point there. Injury prone. Um, that's really about the only injury that he's had. I won't say he's injury prone from having one ACL that's been torn. Well, Michael, Rod Smith is really a third down type of back. When you look at some of the teams in the past that have had like a second back where you basically have two different styles, that's what you got to like about Rod Smith. Rod Smith is really good on third downs. He would be a good out of the backfield pass catcher, a guy you want to use on screens, a guy who can move around in space. Um, Boy, I was hoping that Jackie was going to be here tonight. Jackie, you've let me down. Okay, so I've kind of started something that maybe I probably shouldn't have started, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Um, we had a fan in Alaska who she sent me an email and said, Mark, can you just wish my husband a happy birthday? And I got to tell you, she sent me a video of him being surprised by it. And it would really just touch my heart, the fact that he was so happy about getting the birthday wish. One of our great fans that are here is not here tonight. Jackie, tomorrow is her birthday, so I want to give her a shout out. I'm going to be going to Waynesboro tomorrow. I'm going to be working and everything else. And I wasn't going to be able to do what I wanted to do tomorrow. So, again, I started this stuff, and I can't do it for everybody, but I'm going to try and do what I can. For Jackie for tomorrow, you guys can tell her, and maybe I'll do a clip and share it tomorrow. We actually had a little birthday cake for Jackie. So Sarah, or if anybody sees Jackie or knows where Jackie is, we're all wishing her a happy birthday. So Jackie, I thought you were going to be here. You let me down, but I wish you a happy birthday, and I'll make sure tomorrow I wish you one anyway. Because now the problem for me is this cake ain't making it till tomorrow. I'm already looking at slices of strawberries to put up underneath of it, a scoop of fudge ripple ice cream on it, and throwing down with this with my fat ass. But I'll do what I can to try and. Clifton Hill, happy birthday to you too then tomorrow. Happy birthday to everybody whose birthday's out there and everything else. So try and take care of people. Now, one other thing I have got to say here, guys. I appreciate the fact that you guys want to send me stuff. You don't have to buy me stuff. I'm not looking for people to buy me stuff. I appreciate it. I am touched by it. But the fact that you guys come on here and enjoy the show is thanks enough for me. You guys show me love every single day with comments and everything else except for you Eagle ones. Well, you guys just kind of troll, except for a couple of you. There's some good ones, fans like Clorix Beach from the Giants and Lieutenant Mathers and everything else. Some of you guys are okay. Some of you ones can go pound sand. But if you really want to do something to help out, what we can do and what we're going to do, because Joseph, he's sent me a bunch of great stuff. Like we have this right here. We actually have our beer cooler and stuff like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a donation page on PayPal. And what we'll do is, if you donate to help with this, because clearly I need better equipment. This thing is growing. I've got so much stuff that's hooked up to my laptop. I need to go ahead and invest in another computer, and as well as this software to use with this camera. This camera's got much better feed and everything else, but it takes so much memory and stuff off the hard drive that I can't use the software that I need to really be able to do like the intro, to do videos and things like that. So I'm working on getting that, but we're talking about to do the setup really the way I need to broadcast. It's going to cost close to $3,000. So if you guys want to donate like a $5 or something like that to it, what we're going to do is we're going to start having like a weekly drawing for anybody who ends up contributing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. And every week we're going to send out something to one of you guys, be it shot glasses, be it autographed merchandise. I have stuff like this. Like, this is actually kind of cool. This right here, and let me go ahead and bring this up closer on here. This right here is like an autographed Joe Boo jersey, autographed by Hall of Famer. You notice the gold stars on it, autographed by Charles Haley. And I've got pictures showing him autographing it too, so I can authenticate that. But we'll do some giveaways and things like that. So that way, your donation and stuff is going to help this grow for all of us. So it's not just something for me. When you guys give me a gift, it's great. It's going down here in the man cave, but it's not helping the whole community. And so I want this to be helping this whole thing. I want this to be able to have, I don't have sound issues, that I don't have video issues that I can go ahead and show you clips and things like that and share videos and things from you guys, because it's not about me, it's about all of us together, and I want to make this to be the best YouTube channel as far as Dallas Cowboys and sports goes out there. So you guys make me want to be better. Yeah, I found a recipe for a rum martini. Who knew? Who the frick knew? See, I'm a rum man. I just love the taste of rum. Yeah, Virginia Finest. You know, that's one of the things. Another one of those things that I want to try and do this off season. And I talked earlier on a video because I keep seeing so much that's going on and so many things. I've been around long enough, and guys like Joseph will know because, you know, he's older than I am, and he's seen a lot of the world as well. And I hate to sound like an old guy, but everything these days is about me, 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 and F everybody else. When I think about how the country came together to fight in World War II, people were giving up things, possessions, and stuff like that for the greater cause. It's known as the greatest generation. You know, I think back to how it used to be that you could keep your front door unlocked and things like that. You know, you looked out for your neighbors and things. You know, people cared about it. You had a job that, you know, you weren't going to get rich on. You know, blue collar type work, working in a factory, but you had a pension. You know, you made enough money to put your kids to college. You know, you had a good life. But now it's everything seems to be the haves and the have-nots, and it seems like the have-nots, it's getting a lot less, more and more. I keep seeing things that just get to be ridiculous to me. I've been watching this damn toll road, and I've got no problem with people making money. I want people to make money. But it started out at $5 for a trip. You know, it's an 18-mile trip from Springfield to the American Legion Bridge. They start creeping up to $8, $10. Now sometimes it's $30. How do you justify $30 for a one-way trip for 18 miles? Businesses. I'm still dealing with trying to get this refrigerator that I paid for 3 weeks ago to be delivered. Everything is, it's not us. We can't help you. It used to be that people looked out for each other, and it just does not seem to be that way. So for me, I try and do everything I can to try and help other people. I got to take care of my family and things first, but more times than not, I'll put myself out trying to help somebody else out. Today I went to the African American Museum. Because I work for the Smithsonian, I can get people in. I shouldn't say that, but my daughter and my son and stuff went there and things. And I wanted to get them in to show it to because it's an amazing museum. And I was there before everybody else got there, and there was these two ladies that were out front, and her aunt was from Vermont, and they were asking people if anybody had tickets because she wanted her aunt to be able to go in. And they asked me, "Do you have any tickets?" And I said, "No, I don't have any tickets." And I said, "But come on." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll take you in." I said, I work for the Smithsonian. I can get you in." And these people were just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this." And it's kind of like, why can't we look out for other people? And I wish that people would do that, because it's always me, 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 the F everybody else. That's not what this country was built on. So when I talk about, you guys sending me stuff, hey, it's great. It's fantastic. You guys have helped me out to do the tailgate in Dallas and things like that. Joseph is sending me all kinds of great stuff. Other people, my man said he's changed his name to fire Jason Garrett and everything else, but he sent me the Cowboy piece back over here, and it's great. It's wonderful that you guys are giving this to, but I feel guilty because I haven't done anything to really earn it. So I would rather you guys help me to go ahead and expand this for everybody. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, there was another point I had tonight, but I can't remember what it was. Cowboys X Factor. Yeah. Cowboys X Factor. That's his name now. Actually gave me the sign that's over here. So I appreciate all those things and all that, but it's not necessary. Limp it up to wins. Have you ever meet? I've met Jason Garrett face to face. Here's okay. Here, Cleveland Brown. True story. True freaking story. And also, guys, we're running out of time on the United Way Super Bowl contest. I don't have the link with me right now, but remind me. I'll actually tweet it or I'll post a message about it. Guys, if you have any desire to ever go to a Super Bowl, I'm going to tell you with these contests, there's not as many people that sign up for it. There is as good a chance for you guys to go to the Super Bowl. In fact, there's a better chance for you guys to go to the Super Bowl than the Dallas Cowboys on this trip. Okay? So Cleveland Brown, back to your question. If I ever met Jason Garrett face to face, I have met Jason Garrett face to face at the NFL's commissioners party. I also met Jerry Jones there. Jerry Jones had a nice conversation with it, one of the nicest people and very polite and everything else person out there. And I met Jason Garrett and I just didn't even go up to him. It's like, hey, that was it. I'll be polite, and I think he's a nice guy, but I'm sorry. Nice guys isn't about winning football. It's, I need a guy who's going to go ahead and get wins, because the bottom line is that is the end game. It's not about being friends. It's not about me liking you. It's about you getting the job done. Well, Sarah, I'm not perfect by any stretch of imagination, but I think if everybody helped one person, there would never be a need for anybody to ever get help. Eddie, I would love to see John Gruden for a couple of reasons, okay? John Gruden, he's been out of coaching for a while. We know that. John Gruden is not a team builder. I know that. John Gruden took an existing team and took it to the next level to win a Super Bowl. When it came time for him to be the GM, basically, and build a team, he sucked at it. But he's a motivator of guys. And I believe that with the team and the players, you can't argue about the talent that we have on the team. We've got holes to fill, but we've got draft picks. I believe John Gruden would win us a couple of games that we probably have lost because of not being able to adjust, because of making clock management issues, because of not being predictable. He's a motivator of players. And I believe players are a mirror image of their coaches. So when you have Jason Garrett, hey guys, we'll get him next time. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. My best analogy of Jason Garrett is the guy you want coaching your son in Little League. He's not going to cuss Johnny out. You don't have to worry about him kicking and putting a foot in his ass. He's going to be supportive. Here you go, Johnny. Here's your participation trophy. But the NFL is not Little League. No. You know what, Joseph? Fear is a motivation. When I am scared, more scared of screwing up and having to deal with that coach than I am the guy in front of me, that's motivation. Knowing that my job is on the line if I screw up, that's motivation. Come on now, Virginia Finest. Skip, skip, skip. I just don't see that with Jason Garrett. Sean Payton's another one that I love. Sean Payton. Sean Payton's a guy who can work with quarterbacks. Sean Payton is the guy who got Tony Romo where he was. It wasn't Jason Garrett. I believe Switzer has talent too, but it takes time to work him up in there. Yeah, D's nuts. You're right. Yeah. But here's the problem, D. You're kind of sugarcoating it there because you just basically skipped over the whole 2015 season. Because to me, it's easy to coach when you have all the horses. The problem is when you have adversity, when you lose key players, can you adjust? Look at New England, how, the thing they've lost all kinds of players. They've lost Tom Brady, and yet they still find ways to win. They got to the third string quarterback last year. Two guys that never played before, and yet they won 3 of 4 games without Tom Brady. They lose Gronk on a regular, but yet they win. You look at the Rams that were 4-12 last year, and Jared Goff looked like a bust. Yet they get a new coach, and all of a sudden, they're one of the top teams in the NFL. That's coaching. That's the difference right there. A good coach can count for a couple more games, a couple of wins that you don't have. If you honestly believe that Jason Garrett has not ever made a mistake and lost any games, then you're not really paying much attention. Eddie, I'm upset to say that too, because I know he's not, because we know Jerry Jones. Bill Collier was another motivator, definitely. Our defensive coordinator, well, I think it's time to move on from the Tampa too. I think part of the difference, Jacqueline, definitely is Tony Romo, I think, was whispering in Dak Prescott's ear last year, and I think that helped him out tremendously. And I think this year he hasn't had that. So when we've had adversity and things like that, he's not getting that same level that he was getting with Tony Romo. I have to agree with you on that. Might be interested to see Michael Irvin as a coach. I'm not sure he's ready to be a head coach yet. Sven. Well, shout out to Sven, all the way in Germany, up late as always here on the channel. I can't believe Jason Garrett's still a coach. I have to agree with you on that. Sweet potato Garrett gives Mark Holmes. Yeah. Oh God, don't please don't. Why y'all drawing me into the hating Jason Garrett night? Because there's so many things I could pull up about Jason. Oh man. He can't even high five his own players, man. He missed on that. uh, Shout out to Samantha McGraw. Okay. Amen, Ron. You can see him yelling and spitting all over his players when he score and get hyped up. Okay. Um, Boo, Jason Garrett. What about a young, fresh college coach? Well, at this moment, I'd take a ham sandwich over Jason Garrett, but that's just me. I believe one of the things I believe is if you haven't won in 5 years, you got to change things up because players start to tune you out. They're never going to say, "Oh, I hate this guy." You're never going to hear Dak Prescott say, "Jason Garrett sucks." But you have to be able to change up. And I just see the same offense, exactly the same, that's predictable year after year after year, and teams pick up on it. What do I want for Christmas? A new head coach. Lions versus Bears. I'm going to hope for the Bears. The Bears coming off a big win last week against the Bengals to beat the Lions so we can get that Lions loss out the way. Excuse me, it's been a long day. I'd love to get the Lions loss out of the way so that way all we have to do is win out. Magic 8 Ball, head coach instead of Jason Garrett. They want Jason Garrett to grow the team. Well, the problem is he's been trying to grow the team, and we've already grown out of one great quarterback. Are we going to grow out of another one? Yeah, Sarah, unfortunately, you're right. Butler is going to eat. Okay. I definitely want a Super Bowl. Sweet Potato Garrett. Where did you get that from, Gerald? Joseph, thanks for being here, part of it tonight. Joseph, prayers for your wife. Well, Paul, I'm not sure if it's rebuild. We basically need to reload on some places. And when we start looking at the draft this year, to me, you need a wide receiver that can stretch the field. You need a true number one. And that may be through the draft, that may be through free agency. Second thing, you need a swing offensive lineman, a good swing offensive lineman. You need a tight end. You need a linebacker. You need a safety. Alan, Josh McDaniels, great offensive coordinator, but I'm not sure that he's ready to be head coach. When you look at what he did in Denver, and I know that was a few years ago, and he's had some time to hopefully learn some more under Bill Belichick, but I'm not sure if he's a great head coach just yet. Although I'd be willing to take that experiment over Jason Garrett. Well, Paul, I'm glad you made it home from shopping, man. There's Libra. What defensive coordinator? Let me work on who I would like to have because I haven't been thinking about defensive coordinator as much as head coach. Jim Harbaugh would be great, but Jim's not going to give up the college coaching right now. Cleveland Brown, who's better, Chaz Green or Eric Flowers? Really? Does it really matter? Here's the thing about Ron Martinelli. Rod Martinelli is great at working defensive linemen and getting the most out of them. You can't argue with his track record of what he's done with sometimes guys that have been journeymen and getting them into decent pass rushers. I just think that the Tampa 2 is just outdated. It's time to go to something a little newer, and I just don't think that it's going to be a shutdown defense. The problem we've been having is that Tampa 2 is predicated on getting turnovers. We're just not getting turnovers, and you need turnovers. Yeah, little Libra, you can dream, man. You can dream. Oh, hell no. Keep the fat ass Ryan brothers everywhere away from our team, man. Forget those loudmouths. Yeah, Matthew, there you go. Jason Garrett is trying to be a friend of the players and coach. But the thing about Jason Garrett that bothers me is whenever there's adversity or something's going wrong, players are fighting, he always goes the other way. I want a coach that gets in there, shows some emotion, gets mad when we lose. Don't keep, oh, we're going to have to look at the film and we just couldn't adjust, and then throws guys on the bus. We need a guy like Warren Sapp, really? Really? Mister, let me go ahead and send a woman sex toys every year for Christmas that I'm not dating or seeing. Okay. Sean Lee's going to drop Marshawn Lynch. You know, the thing with Marshawn Lynch is, did he really come back for football, or did he come back to just kind of start talking and being out in social media? Because it seems like he's doing a whole lot more on social media than he's doing on the field. I mean, he's only averaging like 3 yards a carry.
He didn't come back for the money.
No.
Because he's one of the smartest players when it comes to his money. Because he didn't spend any of his check.
What do the Cleveland Browns have in common with the Eagles? No Super Bowls. Yet they still have more world championships than the Eagles. Oh, boy. We don't find out. We don't hold any tiebreakers. That's why we have to be one game up on basically everybody. Right now, we're tied with the Giants and the Lions and Packers, but they hold a tiebreaker against us. Why they have to lose one, we have to win out. The Falcons, they've got to lose 2 games, or the Panthers have to lose a game. We don't have a tiebreaker against anybody. Virginia Fine says hello to you, Michael. He's got his headphones on and he's over YouTubing. But, oh my God, is it 10 o'clock? Well, thank you, X Factor. I'm glad Joe Boo is your hero. Well, guys, it's 10 o'clock already. Damn. Time flies when you're having fun. I've got to actually go ahead and end this thing because I need to actually go to bed because I'm getting up at 5 in the morning because I got to drive 2.5 hours down to Waynesboro and do some work. But if anybody sees Jackie, make sure that tomorrow you tell her I said happy birthday. And I want to thank everybody for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because without you guys, I just couldn't do this without you. And like I said, I'm going to set up a donation button. So instead of getting me presents, we can give ourselves all a present to help work on getting the other computer and software and stuff to make sure we do the stuff better. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And if somehow, some way, I do not see you between now and Christmas, make sure you guys have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, or whatever you guys do. Thomas, Michael's not much for wanting to do a show. But I want to thank you guys, and I am out of